I want to talk about something that is genuinely underrated in this industry. Not a new lead generation, a strategy, not a marketing rack, not a tool, not an app. I'm talking about accountability, the real accountability, not the kind where someone watches over your shoulders and check your number, the kind that actually changes your behavior and your results over the long term. Because I have seen this one thing to be different between the agents who hit their goals and the agents who set the same goal every single year without even reaching them. If you're looking for a community where this kind of accountability is built into the culture where you are surrounded by every week with people who hold a high standard. Go to topagentwolfpack.com and book a strategy call with me. Now let's talk about why this matters so much. Here is a pattern I see constantly. January rolls around and the agent sits and down and write their goals, big goals, real goals. They are fired up. They post about it on social media, maybe. They tell their spouses, their friends, and for the first few weeks, the momentum is high. They're taking action, they're showing up, they're making progress. Then February hits, a deal falls through. A client is difficult. Life gets busy. The energy from January starts to fade, and slowly, almost without noticing, the goals fell. It's not so urgent anymore because it's becoming a background noise. By April, they're barely thinking about it. And then by December, they're writing the same goals again for the next year. Does any part of that sounds familiar? If it does, I want you to know this is not a discipline problem. It is not a motivational problem because motivation is temporary by definition. It is an emotion, and emotions fluctuate. Motivation will always run out eventually. But what does not run out is structure. What does not run out is system that holds your commitments in place regardless of how you feel in any given Tuesday. Real accountability, it's not about someone watching over you. It is about having a structure, people, systems, routines that keeps your vision alive even when you're feeling not so cooperative. And that is what I want to help you build today. Here's how to build a real accountability into your business in three different ways. The first way is to make your goals impossible to ignore. Most agents set goals, then file them somewhere in a notebook, in a Google Doc, in their head. Then they never look at them until December. Your goal needs to be alive in your daily life, written somewhere visible, reviewed every single morning when you sit down to work. I literally have my goals on a card on my desk, on my board, where I sit down for my CO hours every morning. The first thing I see is where I'm going. That constant visual reminder creates a kind of internal accountability that is subtle but incredible powerful over time. It keeps the destination present even on the days when the journey feels hard. The second way is to put yourself in a room, a physical or virtual room with people who are playing at the same level or above. This is one of the most underrated growth strategy in business, and it is the reason I invest so heavily in community. The agents I have seen make the biggest leaps in the shortest time are almost always the ones who surround themselves with people who normalize a high standard of performance. When everyone around you is thinking big, taking action, holding themselves accountable, that becomes the culture you rise to. On the other hand, when you are at your highest performer in every room you're in it, you have no one to pull you forward. You need people to challenge you, who ask you hard questions, who call you on your excuses. That is what real community does. And in the Dynasty, we have weekly production calls specifically designed for this. Not to report your numbers to your manager, but to be in a room where the standard is high and the support is real. And then the third way is to build accountability into your system so it becomes automatic rather than optional. Your CRM should be tracking your activities and showing you where your pipeline stands at a glance. Your calendar should have protect your time for most important work, and that time should be treated as non-negotiable. Your weekly review, which I recommend doing at least, maybe every Friday, should include looking at what you committed to do this week and honestly assessing whether you did it, not to judge yourself, but to stay connected to the gap between where you are and where you're going. When accountability is baked into your system, it does not depend on your mood or your motivation. It just happens. And here's a little action for you this week. Make one commitment to one person in your life that genuinely stretches you. Not a goal you will hit anyway, a real one. Something that makes you a little uncomfortable to say out loud. Tell them what you are going to do and by when. That simple act of saying it to another person will change how you show up because now it is not just in your head, it is real. When you are ready to plug into a community that makes accountability part of the culture, where every week you are in a room with people who hold you to the standard you actually want to be held, go to topagentwolfpack.com, book your strategy call, and let's build something together.